My name is Peachy Keenan, and I am a domestic extremist. Unless you feel violently threatened by monogamous breeding pairs or large families, my use of the term domestic extremist has exactly zero to do with violence. You can call off the no-knock raid, tell the guys at the CIA black site they won't have to prep my gulag cell. My waterboarding will have to wait. A note to my CIA readers: if you must waterboard me, I prefer Fiji. Do not attempt to waterboard me with tap water or, Aquafina. When I say domestic extremist, I am referring to someone who is extremely domestic, literally. The dictionary defines domestic as, quote, of or relating to the home, the household affairs, or the family, devoted to home life or household affairs, unquote. My fellow domestic extremists and I choose peace, love, and the radical, yes, extreme, rejection of the bleak lifestyle promoted by mainstream culture that is leading entire generations to rack and ruin. Instead, we pursue and achieve true and lasting happiness by embracing natural, organic, inborn domesticity, by elevating family, parenthood, and, trigger warning, tradition. The word tradition scares some people, but I'm not talking about returning to the Middle Ages or the colonial era. We don't have to search that far back to recall a time when American culture wasn't this depraved. Forget the 1780s, I'll take the 1980s. By becoming just a bit more domestic, we can develop immunity from progressive social engineering and pass this precious gift onto our many descendants. We will recklessly, even wantonly, flout societal scolds and community commissars. Once you experience the thrill of our quiet domestic rebellion and see how much it enrages progressive harpies, you may be hooked for life. At least, I hope so. Because America needs more domestic extremists badly. Men and women guided by forgotten ways and beliefs handed down over generations, or perhaps discovered anew in times of darkness. Guess what? You already know what to do. All you must do is listen closely for the ancestral longings that lurk in the heart of every human being. Dormant instincts may rouse themselves from slumber. Pay attention to them. They will lead you out of the barren wasteland that stretches before us. Good news. You don't need to own a ranch, live on a farm, or bake cookies wearing high heels and pearls to become domestically extreme. Instead, you will simply begin to make choices, large and small, that come not from without, but from deep within. You will be able to construct impermeable, invisible defenses around your soul that protect it from our broken culture. You will happily reject the current era and all its poison. You will reclaim authority over your life and your children. Too much of our parental authority has been handed over blindly to a culture that many of us don't recognize and most of us want little to do with. Let's kiss it goodbye for good. You can become a domestic extremist in any setting. You don't need any special equipment, clothing, or books, except this one, and maybe one other. Becoming a domestic extremist is so simple, you can start this second. All you have to do is choose to live again in a way that, within recent memory, was considered normal. We didn't become the extremists, they did. Remember normal? Why did being normal get canceled? Becoming a domestic extremist requires reclaiming normalness as a way of life, as the only way of life that can ensure your family's survival through these dark times. Of course, being normal these days makes me a dangerous lunatic compared to most women my age. Almost like I'm some sort of domestic extremist. In fact, if you compare me to my ultra-woke college classmates and former corporate colleagues, who were the only type of people I knew for the first few decades of my life, I am a hardcore domestic extremist. In my resolute normalness, I'm a fringe weirdo upon whom the regime's ideological brainwashing didn't quite take. The social scientists who tried and failed to re-educate me must be big mad. They're smashing the beakers in the lab and pounding their fists on the Bunsen burners. Why didn't the indoctrination work on her? She watched Sesame Street, she drank Coke, she liked her MTV, she even went to the Ivy League. How did Frau Keenan escape the mind virus? Folks, I don't know how I made it past their gauntlet. I have no idea how I remain normal, despite our culture's best efforts. Sorry, culture, you failed.